Hey, I got around to doing a daytime vlog. Just in the nick of time. The sun is setting over there in the west. And feeling mixed emotions. A little forward thinking in terms of preparing for what is to come. Grant Cardone on YouTube's great, man. He's a badass. But he put out a video today talking about what you do need to do and not to do at a time like this, but reminded me of a lot of things that I was already privy to. How about 2020 Ducati Hyper Motard 950, ladies and gentlemen. Just had the break-in service done 2 days ago. So I'm in touring mode because I'm touring. I'm just cruising, kind of, you know, there's a time and place for everything. But how about that chloroquine? It's a drug used to treat malaria and acute arthritis. It's been around for decades, discovered in 1934. But if you haven't heard, in Washington State, they did a trial run with the CV patients.
Intercom failed. Try again later.
I apologize for Mycena. We're just going to have to ignore it and deal with it. But 45 people with the CV in Washington were given chloroquine, and within 6 days they were cured. 0 signs of the CV. So that made me feel a little bit better. I think I learned of that yesterday, and so maybe there's hope. But supposedly, like your regular doctor can prescribe it. They're still doing tests, and hopefully the bureaucracy of everything doesn't cause it to take months before they can administer it. So we're right along the St. Johns River. You're not going to be able to see it, but that we're parallel to the St. Johns River. This is really one of my favorite back roads in the area. Here in sunny Florida. So it's almost 7:30. Just left work at 6. Stopped at On Target, the shooting range, to talk to the owner because he's building a motorcycle, car, everything motorsport park in Jacksonville. And I wanted to talk to him about some ideas that I had, and also about maybe potentially being an employee at the track on my days off from the dealership where I work, the BMW Ducati dealership. So what are you guys up to? Really? Yeah, what did he say? Oh, did it work out? I'm just trying to... There's going to be that one person that was thinking or said just the right things to line up to what I just said. They're going to flip out. So yeah, this is beautiful. Some old 100-year-old
Intercom
trees.
failed. Try again later.
Might try this Motovlog again later. Oh, I did the firmware update on the Sienna, trying to fix this issue last night, and evidently it didn't work out. I had upgraded to the latest firmware, and you would think I would have thought to Google this exact error, like why it says that and how to fix it. Maybe I'll do that later. I thought maybe the firmware update would fix it, but at least it's... Dude, I did a motovlog the other night that I didn't post, where Sienna was saying it like every 30 seconds, and it was really bad. Wood fire. So yeah, if you look around right now here in my area in Jacksonville, you wouldn't know that there's a major crisis brewing, and that there's not shutdowns of everything and what, you know, people barbecuing back there, you know. However, I've become less worried about the virus thing and more concerned about the economy. which at this point you might want to go ahead and skip all the, like, the whole process of losing your job, like the emotional process of like things getting really bad financially, shit going down, hard times for a while. Skip all that emotion, you know, anger, depression, all that shit, and just go straight to acceptance and reboot. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You know, there'll still be opportunities. There'll still be opportunities. And what historically always follows, like a major crisis, like the Great Depression and World War II. Before that, it was the American Revolution, the Civil War. All those things fell on this cycle that we're in right now. No pun intended. Motorcycle. But historically, what always follows that is great times, like the baby boom generation in the 50s. Remember the 57 Chevys and all that stuff? Sure, there's always going to be some bullshit going on, but we are in the winter cycle, and this may be the grand finale. I thought we were already in a crisis, to be perfectly honest. No one could anticipate this, but people have been talking about it on YouTube for a long time. And I don't think anybody anticipated the CV thing, except for maybe like the CIA and the, you know, the Chinese government or whatever, you know. It's really not funny, but because some people think that it was intentional, you know, to trigger a reset and give a kind of an excuse for the United Nations to come in and take over and kiss the great US of A goodbye. But there, like I said, I didn't say it in the video I posted, but I did record it. I just didn't post it, where there's two extreme outcomes typically, regardless of whatever the subject matter is, and typically somewhere it'll land somewhere in the middle. So hopefully it won't be extremely terrible. It's probably not, we know it's not going to be extremely great, but it might be like, you know, not too bad. But I'll end the video right there. Going to meet Rick Vipermoto at Academy Sports. I need to start heading that way. Don't want to make the video too long. Comment down below, hit the like button. Yeah, catch you guys later.